Hello. Today I'd like to talk about routines. Being the second day of January, I feel it's appropriate that I should touch on routines and the importance of them when it comes to mental health. Routine, I found the most important thing in getting out of a slump mentally. So, a little bit of background history on me is about 6 years ago, I had an accident at work, and I hit my head and I had what's called a traumatic brain injury. Um, so it's basically like a concussion that the symptoms don't go away. I still get headaches all the time, and I get a bit confused, and I struggle with the computers and lights and things like that. It's still something I struggle with every day. But anyways, when this happened, before that, I was diehard computer guy, always computering. In grade one or grade two, I took apart a computer and I knew every different piece in it. And my father taught computers when I was a young child. So, I was always into computers, and, I always thought of them as the way of the future, and basically 100% of my focus in my education and, was all focused around computers. I have 9 years of business school. I have a bachelor and a master's in business, and everything was computers, and I know how to code a bit and build websites and apps and stuff. But so that was my focus before. But then I hit my head, and everything changed at that point. So where am I going with this? Basically, I had to learn a new way of life since then. It was very difficult for me. I felt like my life was over at the time. The only way I could get my headaches to go away was by sitting in a dark room by myself. Big blankets over the windows, no TVs on, no telephones, nothing. So if I did that for 2 full weeks, my headaches would go away. But then, I feel like, all of a sudden I had a day without a headache, so I'm cured, right? So, I can go outside, I can go to the grocery store, whatever. And within 10 minutes of leaving the room and dealing with, outside people and lights, the headaches would come back tenfold. And I would have to get right back to my dark room and hide under the covers and basically suffer in pain and cry for 2 weeks until it would go away again. So that was hard on me mentally. I did that for about 6 months. And after those 6 months, you can't spend more than 6 months, I find, in a dark room by yourself. Most people would go nuts after a couple days. But, after 6 months, I had to figure a new way of life. I couldn't just hide forever in a dark room and not talk to anybody, even though that's the only thing that took away my headaches. But so I kind of ventured out, and I started learning different things that didn't cause my flare-ups. So, I found little construction projects, that type of thing. It was so weird because if I looked at a computer for 2 minutes, I would have the worst headaches for days and days and days. But if I was hammering nails in wood or building something, doing a bit of drywall, painting, I wouldn't really realize the headaches. Like I'm sure they're still there, but a lot more faint and kind of in the background. Of course, I would still get my headaches kind of towards the end of the day. Part of this condition is, I get very wore out very quickly. So, some of my construction projects are things that might normally take somebody a day, and it would take me a month because, I would work for 5 minutes and then I'd have to take a half hour off. Or sometimes I'd work for an hour or two. And then other days, I might be working on my project all day long, but I probably only get 40 minutes worth of work done in an 8-hour period. But so that's a bit of history about me. But where am I going with this? Basically, routine. So, like I said, that was really tough on my mental health. I got very depressed, and the anxiety was high, and I did see some psychologists back then, and one of the biggest things I took away from the psychologist was the importance of the routine. So she would always ask me, "Oh, did you sleep well? Like, what time did you go to sleep last night? What time did you wake up? Did you have your shower in the morning?" Things like that. And I thought, like, what does that have to do with my mental health, or my conditions? And through working with them for a few weeks on that, that was 5 years ago or more. I've really, really learned that if you can make a good, at least for myself, I know everybody's different, but if I make myself stick to a routine, go to bed around the same time every night, wake up around the same time every morning, and have little bits of routine throughout the day, I feel so much better. And if you're struggling with this, you might be saying to yourself, but I'm not tired at 10 o'clock. I'm not tired at 11 o'clock to go to sleep at the same time every day. And that's really where I had to learn to fill my day with things that don't aggravate me, with things that don't cause my symptoms to flare up. So, and routines, they don't have to be the same every single day. They just need to have some sort of a framework on how you go throughout your day. So my biggest thing is, I want to fall asleep every day somewhere around 10:30. That's my goal. Sometimes it's 9 o'clock, sometimes it's midnight, but I really try my hardest to do, right around 10:30. And I really notice that if I get to bed at 10:30 every day for 3 or 4 days in a row, and then I'm waking up every day at, say, 6:30, 7 o'clock every morning, after 3 or 4 days, I could really tell I feel a lot better because of this routine every day. So how do I do it? So, in order to go to bed at an earlier time, say 10 o'clock or 10:30, you need to do things throughout the day that wear you out. It's easy, like if you're off work, to, stay up late, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the morning, whatever. Now my dogs are flipping out. 1 second. Sorry about that. Those dogs are barking at everybody in the neighborhood. So where was I? So routine. So you need to make yourself tired through the day. I noticed that for a long time, especially those first 6 months after my accident, I had no concept what time it was ever, right? So I would stay up all night one night and sleep through the day, and even when I was trying to get better, they kept putting me on different medications and trying different things to help manage the pain, and some things, they make me sleep 12 hours or longer, and it really messed with my routine. And my wife hated it. Like, I had one drug, I don't know what it was, but it was some, pain / antidepressant / anti-anxiety thing that, I would take it at midnight and I would sleep till 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I felt great, but my wife hated that, she got no productivity out of me because, waking up at 2 in the afternoon all groggy, you're not going to get a whole lot done that day. You'd be lucky if you have supper, and then normal people go to bed, and then you're up, till midnight watching TV or YouTube or whatever. So, I really found that it messed with my routine, a lot of the drugs, and which was not good for my mental health. So I found that in order to go to sleep, you have to do something that makes yourself tired. So that's what I try to incorporate now in my routine during the day. So routines change it's constantly changing. Your life constantly changes. Things happen. But some of my best routines, I was on a very good one here before Christmas, where every day, like I said, somewhere around 10:30, I was going to bed. I would wake up every morning somewhere between 6 and 7. Now, I have a young child, a daughter, she's only 15 months, and, she sleeps really well right now. Her routine changes, but we try very hard to keep her on a strict routine as well. So, she's been waking up between 7:30 and 8:30, somewhere around 8 o'clock. And part of my routine, I was really enjoying having that hour or two by myself in the morning. I actually loved waking up at 6 a.m., feeling refreshed because I went to sleep at 9 or 10. The sun's not up yet, So my routine was I would wake up, usually because my back is sore or something, and then I'd be awake so that I'd go out and I would make the coffee. I would use the bathroom. I would come back and drink a coffee. And then I would get my shower. I would tidy up the kitchen, kind of get ready for breakfast. Now, side note, I've been doing a bit of intermittent fasting. So I try not to eat breakfast. I'm just having black coffee with a bit of water in it in the morning, or just glasses of water. It's because I'm really trying not to eat until 11 or later. And actually, and before Christmas, I was doing really well. I wasn't eating until 12 or 1 in the afternoon, and then I was done eating by about 7 o'clock at night. Something happened over Christmas. We lost my grandfather to dementia and some complications with that. But he was 87 years old. He lived a long, incredible life, spreading positivity to everybody he met. So, but things like that happen, and it throws off your routine, right? So I had to pack up and fly across the country and go to a funeral and where it was Christmas, we decided to stay an extra few days so we could spend Christmas with my family back east there. So, it threw a wrench in my routine, right? So I wasn't being able to get up at the same time every day. There was a 3-hour time difference. We stayed pretty close to on our current time. So it was 3 hours ahead. So we we were up till 2 or 3 in the morning, or 1 or 2 in the morning, and then we would sleep in until 11 o'clock in the morning. But we kind of, kept it somewhat around the same in terms of sleep. But, I didn't have my little workout area here in my house. And then we had to eat out at restaurants a lot. So it kind of threw off my diet quite a bit. And I didn't have all my little house projects here to work on through the day. But, I have a rental property there that needed some work. And my parents' house always needs work. So there was a bit of stuff, that I could do to help wear myself out through the day so that I could be tired again in the evening. So back to my routine. So right now, and before Christmas, is basically where I'm trying to get back to now. So every morning I would wake up before the baby, get some me time in, and shower, put the coffee on, have a coffee, use the bathroom, shave, whatever. And then it was really nice too, because I could come down the basement here and do a bit of exercise. I've been pretty hard on that this last month or so before Christmas. But before that, I kind of took, a 3-year break off of that, or at least a year or two since we moved from Newfoundland. I don't know, it's been a long time anyway since I've been exercising and counting steps and keeping an eye on what I eat. But I had some kind of a scare with the doctor told me I had some high blood pressure, and it instantly felt like I was dying. And I want to be around for a long time for my daughter and my soon-to-be second child, and I would like to meet their children someday if they have any. So I've kind of had this don't know if it'd be called a midlife crisis or not, but you know, I'm 37, but I've lived a long, busy life for somebody that's 37. You know, I had a lot of big jobs and a lot of varied experience, and I've created many different businesses, and you know, and some of them failed, some of them I've sold, some of them, you know, I kind of just let go of. You know, so I've lived a long life, and I'd like to pass that on to my future generations. So that's one of the reasons I kind of started this daily vlog or videos or whatever. So, being New Year's, you know, this is one of the things I wanted to do in the new year. And I had a few other things, and of course I messed them all up there on the first. Today's only the second, but this is the only thing really that I've been sticking with. It's only day 2, but you know, I've been struggling with different things, and you know, and back to the routines. Going to bed at night, you know, for the longest time I would smoke a joint or have, you know, some marijuana of some sort, whether it's an edible or a vape or whatever, because you know, with my condition with my headaches, I found that joints were the only thing that really took away the pain instantly. But just like all the other medications and whatever, you know, there is side effects. There is, you know, my throat gets sore from smoking, even though I only smoke a little bit, kind of in the nights. You know, it still bothers me. You know, coughing and whatever. You know, and I tried the edibles, and they, you know, they would work for one day, and then the next day I'd have to take double if I wanted it to work again, and then, you know, it don't work at all, I find. And the vape is the same way. You know, it kind of works a little bit, don't really work, and it upsets my throat. I even tried the tinctures and the oils and stuff you put under your tongue. You know, it worked for a few days and then don't. So, you know, and same thing with all the doctor prescribed medicines. You know, they always work for the first couple of days and then they don't. And or there's side effects. I sleep all the time, or I'm groggy and tired and miserable and depressed. And so, you know, through having this chronic pain for the last 6 years, or however long it's been now, about 6 years, you know, I just learned just to live with the pain. And I seen actually there's a really good documentary by Jonah Hill about his psychologist. I can't remember what it's called. It might be Sully, or it's the name of the psychologist anyways. But if you Google Jonah Hill psychologist documentary, you'll find it. But one thing that really resonated with me over that is that his psychologist would say, you know, things you can't avoid in life, and the number one thing was pain. So you will have pain in life, and you need to just deal with it, you know, whether that's taking something for it or just waiting it out. You know, try to distract yourself with exercise, with some food, some spicy food, or whatever it is to get you through it. You know, for me, a lot of times I got to put like an ice pack over my eyes or on my head and lay down, you know, with either like a weighted blanket or just somewhere very, very quiet and very, very dark. And, you know, and that makes it easier to deal with, I guess. Don't always take it away, but it just makes it easier to deal with. So yeah, so, you know, being January, I think routine's important. You know, it's not some, like if there's part of your routine that's not working for you, you know, you can always change it. The best part about a routine is, you know, you have each day, you can modify it a little bit here and there. You know, things will make you screw it up, and you just gotta kind of get back on the wagon and try it again. And you know, and this is the time of year to do it. You know, I remember back when I used to drink and do drugs and whatever in my earlier years, like there was no routine. You know, the routine was partying all night until the morning and then sleeping until the middle afternoon, and then making it to a coffee shop, having some crappy breakfast somewhere. You kind of get ready and do it all again late into the night. I guess it's technically a routine, but it wasn't one that fostered, positive, healthy mental health, and a life away from pain. So, so now, like I said, I have my morning routine, and in your daily routine, you could have all kinds of little routines. I was thinking about this in the shower this morning because I have my shower routine. I go in and I get water everywhere, and I soap everywhere, and I shave where I just shave, and I plug the tub when I first go in to kind of soaks my feet or whatever. There's like a lot of little routines through your day. So I got my shower routine and my shaving routine and my like how I do the coffee maker routine. But that's all kind of part of my morning routine. And then the baby wakes up. So whenever she wakes up, whether it's 10 or 8 o'clock or give or take an hour usually, I get her out of her crib, and I gotta change the baby, and then I take her out and I put her in her high chair and I give her her Cheerios, and then I fill up her little cup of milk, and she has her milk. She's so excited every morning for her milk and her Cheerios. And then I cut up a few strawberries and I give her strawberries, and I have another coffee and I sit there with her while my wife gets up and ready for the day. And then after the baby's done and fed, and then the wife comes out and she gets her breakfast or whatever. And where she's pregnant, she's got some morning sickness this pregnancy quite a bit. So so she has her own things going on, and I want to try to make that easy for her, as easy as I can. So, she gets her morning routine, she does whatever she does and goes out in the living room, has her coffee. And then, the baby can either go out there with her or she stays in the kitchen with me. And that's kind of like my mid-morning routine. And then, and if I don't make it to do some exercise down here, in the basement before the baby wakes up, this is when I do it kind of after I get the baby fed and settled down, changed, fed, settled down. And then I would like to come down here and get some exercise done. And I'm still fairly new into my exercise journey this time around. So, I don't have strict guidelines on, I need to put 45 minutes in, or I need to do 4 reps of 12 of all these exercises. For now, I'm just trying to incorporate it into my routine. So if I just get down here, I just tell myself, just go run down for a minute, or a couple minutes. And that's what I did today. My wife was making some breakfast, and it's hard with the intermittent fasting because I'm trying to wait as long as possible to eat. And she's on her second bit of food. Like I'm a pretty good cook, and I like to make breakfast. So she has her cereal first thing in the morning because she knows I'm definitely not eating then. And then comes 10 or 11 o'clock, she's like, "Oh, when can you eat?" Well, I can eat whenever I want, but I'm trying to push it off. So for the second breakfast, the mid-morning breakfast or whatever, usually we have something a bit more hearty, like some eggs and toast and sausage or bacon or turkey bacon or whatever. Usually that's when I will eat. But if she don't want to wait for me to cook it, like she'll cook it. So we made a bunch of homemade baked beans yesterday. So she made some beans, and I didn't have a chance to exercise yet, but I said, okay, throw me on some when you're making it, your eggs and beans and toast. And I'm just going to run down and get a bit of exercise in. So I only had, maybe 10 minutes, but I ran down and I did 5 minutes on the elliptical, a couple sets of weights. And even though it's only 10 minutes exercise, I feel so much better about my routine today because I got that done. So I got some exercise done in the morning. And then, I got to go up and eat with my wife and my daughter. So then, I helped look after my daughter until my wife was going to town, and she was taking the baby with her to go do some running around. And so now I'm kind of incorporating this video into my routine. I'm trying to do one every single day. I don't want to do a lot of editing. I've tried YouTube before, and I've had a bunch of different little YouTube channels doing videos all the time, and the editing kills you. Because I enjoy making the videos, filming them and getting my word out there and being able to pass on my knowledge to future generations, either within my family or even other people out there. But something about men, I think we just want to be immortal. I've heard that before. Forever, men have been trying to live beyond their years, and maybe that's what I'm doing here. But because I don't know if I got 2 years left or 100 years left. It'd be interesting, 137, but you know what I mean. Like, you never know when your time's up. So I want to be able to continue leaving a legacy, I guess, of knowledge or whatever. So back to routines. Did my exercise, doing my video, start my video, and then after this I'll probably go up and do some work in the bathroom upstairs. I'm tearing out my shower up there and tearing down a wall, and I'm going to reroute some plumbing and put in a bathtub that we got for Christmas there. So that's my plan, because I only can work up there kind of when the baby's either not here or she's awake. But I'm making a lot of noise and a lot of dust and stuff in there. So with the wife and baby gone this afternoon, I think it's a good time for me to go up and bring my saws on, or my reciprocating saw or whatever, and cut some big holes in the wall. So maybe we'll do that next. All right. So routine, it's important. Keep at it. Let's go. All right, so here we are now in the bathroom, and I got some mess on the floor I got to clean up from last time I was here. Also, I took some videos of that. I didn't do anything with it, so maybe I will show them to you guys here. Now, in doing this, I did this first bit here with a chisel, just to try and see exactly how far deep the shower base goes, or the surround. And it actually went very, very quickly, just holding the chisel in this line here, giving it a couple whacks with my little mini sledge, and then just basically make it a line 4 or 5 down, and then this kind of just falls right off. So it was nice because it made no dust. Now I do have saws, and this one here will probably work really well for doing it a little bit faster in a straighter line, but it will make a lot of dust. On the other videos I've seen on YouTube, guys have used reciprocating sawzalls with maybe like a pretty small little blade on it. But I don't know exactly where the plumbing lines are. I'm sure this one just goes down to this fixture, which goes down into the basement there. There's nothing above us, so I should be pretty okay with the plumbing lines. But also, I didn't shut the water off yet because we're doing laundry basically all the time. So I think I'm just gonna do the little chisel way. It works really good. I just basically need to break this drywall in a straight line. It should only take a couple minutes, because this only took a couple minutes, and I just gotta go all the way around, and it'll minimize the dust because the dust has been bothering me quite a bit lately. Okay, let's go. not usually a mask guy, but I think I've gotten every nail so far. Thank God. It's my own house. I've been doing it in my slippers. My own house. Maybe I will do a bit of fun with this. See, I already got it. I'm just about half an inch. my chisel for the core. And 10 nails. We'll put them together. That's why this one's not working. It's good because there's a stud there. But these here, where there was a hole, just hit me here, popped it off of those few nails. Oh, look, it even got a screw in there. Hex head screw. Bolt. There's 100 different types of screws in there, bolts and screws and nails. So I'm going to try to pull them all out of the wood and then maybe cut each side off. So cut each wall off, so I got 3 flat pieces to throw in my truck, or 4 I guess if you count the floor section, which I threw some duct tape over so that I don't get all the dirt and dust and stuff down in my drain to clog it up. So I guess first I'm just gonna tidy up in here a little bit. I don't got shoes on, so that's a benefit. I brought a box this time to take some of my garbage. Now it's important to keep your work site clean, so that you want to do more work things. And also it's safer. Now I know I talked about using the reciprocating sock, but now that I'm thinking about it, I might use this little oscillator blade, because it's just very thin plastic or vinyl shower, so that might work better, at least with less dust and vibration. I find the vibrations on some saws hurt my wrist pretty quickly. Get a broom and a dustpan. Alright, broom, dustpan, and a bit of water. As I was cutting this out, I was making sure I was very aware of any nails and cut them before they hit the ground. But I have learned my lesson. Okay. Should also probably be using a mask for this, because I find the dust is harsh. Yeah. I noticed that there is a couple hex screws, and I have this hex bit. Not super tight, but I think it may be just good enough. They say the best way to lock a bit in is you turn it on, hold this till it's tight, and then do one more click. Man, these are quite the screws. On this side. Now I've never disconnected any water yet. Probably should. What screws there? Okay, so actually 3/4 of the project was all these beefy hex screws, and there's only this This side here that you can't see is nails. So I guess I will use a little pry bar for that. And I do enjoy this little guy. It's a good thing I'm not trying to keep this thing, because that does not look like it's going to be easy to come out. This is what we're dealing with here. Little nails. Looks like somebody tried to take this one off already. So I may have to cut around that and then take the nails out once everything's cut around it. So whenever you're working on showers or anything related to your water, it's important to turn your water off. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to head down, turn the water off, then I'm going to open up some taps just to make sure that it's all cleared out upstairs and downstairs. Now it's usually quite hard for me to time getting the water out because we always have laundry on the go or dishwasher or somebody's in the shower. But where I am the only one home right now, this is the way to do it. Now our water shut off is down here behind our washer and dryer. Now my brother-in-law, who grew up here, tells me it's this red and white one, which seems to make sense. Except she's fucking hard to turn. This big old red and white. It's definitely not a quarter turn valve. Now, I am turning it righty-tighty. In the video, it looks backwards. Maybe I'm upside down. All right. Well, that seam's off. So let's go. Now I have no other faucets down here. Let's go check our faucets. So first I will run the kitchen. I lost most of it, but it still seems to be dripping. Oh, I'll leave that open for a minute just to see if it's some sort of pressure or something. And I will try the other. It could be that shut-off valve. It's not very good. It does still seem trickling out here too. Let's open up all the way. So I'm just going to open all of them, and then I'm going to go and try and turn that shut off a bit more. I feel like I may need to put a new shut off on there. It's just a drip in the room that I'm working on. Try to flush the toilet. So this one's just a drip. This one's still going. Just a very little bit, but I knew that was definitely not a proper shut off. But now that I'm back to the sink, this one's not going. I'm just gonna go double check it in the basement one more time. Try to close it off in there. And maybe I will disconnect power from the hot water heater just so that that's not struggling when it's got no water coming into it. Because if you leave that on and no water's getting in there, it could burn out the burners in the hot water heater. So, furnace, hot water. Of course, nothing's ever listed on these stupid things. Oh, fluorescent light. Oh, cold room lights, basement, bathroom, what's the deep freeze? Now, furnace 28. I'm gonna check actually at the furnace, and also that this is closed all the way. Turn off all the power. Now I lose my lights. Well, let's try and cut the wall with the with the oscillator. But also I gotta take the faucets off. Let's see what we need for that. Alright, well, this faucet, it's not even really attached. So this came right off. So it's not touching the wall. Alright, now these here, I'm not sure if you can see that, but just a screwdriver. Right here. Phillips screwdriver, which I have in my pocket. And actually, I should probably use an actual screwdriver. Just taking that set screw out. Knobs off. So now I got the knobs off and the set screws. I probably just need a wrench to take this off right here. I'm gonna double check that by watching a couple videos. Okay, so recap here. I took this off. As you can see inside, circle part with the little nubs on it there. That's what you turn for your water to come on and off. So that controls the center part. I took my normal pliers here, this one. I took this out, the whole little cartridge or whatever. Kind of came out of each. And now the outside is still pretty stuck on the wall. So I'm going to take these pliers, which I can get a good grip on that, and try turning it off, or twisting it off completely. Now a bit of water did come out when I took the cartridge out, which was to be expected. It is turning now. Alright, that's one side. Second side. Alright. Shower, we can just take this whole head off here, get this out of our way. Okay. All the water out of this hose. Leaks everywhere in my house. Now I will keep that because maybe I'll use it for my basement. Now I don't think this is even going to be very difficult, because you see how that's coming out of the wall? You could put like a screwdriver in, turn it, but I can feel it almost turning with my hands. Now I do have a screwdriver, so this will make it easier on me. There we go. All right. Another thing off. Alrighty. Now, in theory, other than these stupid fucking screws, this thing should almost all be attached. Alright, well, let's try out the circular saw may be faster, but let's try this little guy here. So I'm going to start in this corner, which you can see. So that's good. Burning plastic, which I guess is kind of what you're doing. Now, let's try it. sure I don't see anything behind there. It's probably too late now. I went all the way down this side. Where's that one? All the way through on all of it. Most of it, I would say. Let's see if this is just going on. out to the outside. Finally. So after the rancidly smell of fiberglass in that room now, from cutting that open, I think I'm going to take a short break. Maybe have a coffee. Maybe get my Sawzall reciprocating saw ready. And try it again with a much faster saw for the next wall. You coming down to help me, Ingo? Yeah? Like, Dad, why are you making so much noise? Hey, what are we doing now, Dad? Are we going to exercise? We're going to build something? I think you're going to take a short break on this chair here. Dad, workshop chair. And try to let the fiberglass hopefully not hurt my lungs too much again. So I can definitely feel the fiberglass on my skin a bit. On my arms, I can kind of feel it. You know, I've had a rough situation with fiberglass once before when I bought this old house, and it had all this really old pink insulation that had all kinds of animals living in it for decades. And so yeah, I had to pull that all out one time, and I mean, I think I got it in my throat, in my lungs, and I thought I was gonna die for weeks. It was so much pain. So try to avoid that if you can. Wear a mask or pay somebody else to do it that knows what they're doing. But this fiberglass is different on this shower. You know, it didn't seem as airborne, but now that, you know, since I spent 15-20 minutes cutting it with the oscillator, you know, some small fibers may have gotten in the air, which, you know, kind of burns a little bit now when I touch parts of my skin. So I'm probably gonna get a shower. I have to turn the water back on and get a shower. Now, when using reciprocating saw or something like this, because it's so, you really want the smallest blade because it's so, you know, thin of material that we need. We don't need a big 12-inch blade. I think I'll just pick one of the smallest ones I got. I've seen some guys use real tiny ones. I don't have ones that small. You know, this one here, once it's in my saw, I don't know, I get a few inches. I'll just have to try to keep it at just the tip. All right, so just the tip of this one, I guess. No, I found one smaller actually. I didn't even know I had one, so it's for bimetal. But yeah, that should work good. Because I don't want to be cutting into the framing or into the pipes or anything. So this one should be fine. 4-inch. I didn't even know I had one that small. Okay. Alright, now this time I'm going to try to do it a lot faster, which is why I got the Sawzall out with the small blade and my dust mask on because it really smells in here. I'm going to cut a line straight through here and then across and try to take out this back wall and then this wall and then leave the bottom for the last. And then I'm going to take my shower because of all this fiberglass. Maybe I'm gonna put goggles on too, as I do got pieces flying off into my face. blade, huh? Sakes. Look at this blade. I've never seen a Sawzall blade do this. Now I do have another one on me. But fuck. Oh yeah. Alright. Now I'm going to take this out to the truck and get new batteries. Alright, so now that I got two walls off, I look behind here and the pipes that come down get pretty close to the fiberglass wall here towards the bottom. So I'm going to try to avoid having to cut across that. Especially where I don't think I have a very good shutoff on this house's plumbing. So I really don't want to disturb those pipes until I'm ready to. So what I'm going to do with it instead is I'm going to cut down the side here with all the nails. And I'm going to try to take out the drain cover. And then hopefully I can pull this all out in one piece and cut it out in the driveway to fit it better in the truck. So here's my drain. Am I still recording this? Yeah. Should I maybe get a different one? Or maybe I just use my chisel. And I can get a lot done with a chisel. It's attached to the friggin' drain. Unfortunately. And my blade's too short. Just too big. All right, so it's only been a couple minutes since I was filming there, but what I did is I ripped up the old vinyl flooring, or some of it, and then I cut a bit of a strip here because I know I'm going to have to move this drain somewhere around here, which is the middle of the floor. Also, I cut a strip out this way because I really want to get access below the floor to these two pipes. So I use my circular saw to get as far, and of course there's a stud right before them, so I don't want to cut into that. So I used my oscillator, and I just cut a little line here to the pipe and a little line there towards the pipe, and then like kind of scored it basically halfway deep all the way across. So now I'm just going to use my chisel and my pry bar and just try to pop up this bit of flooring here. So hopefully I can either gain access to those pipes or make a hole so that I can see it from the basement exactly where those pipes are. All right. Good gosh. Say this is just hot. 16 colored red. Motherfucker. Calm down. I'm gonna bash this fucking hand in. Some fucking staples. Holy moly. How the fuck is this thing? put this province in this chipboard. Alrighty. Well, now what I'm gonna do, because I got a little bit of a hole, I'm gonna shine my flashlight down this hole. Hopefully I don't drop my phone. And then I'm gonna go down the basement and look for where the light's coming from. Hopefully I can see it. Okay, so what happened next was I shined the flashlight down. I looked from the hole that I already had in the basement. Did not see the flashlight. I was probably a couple feet away from where I needed to be, so I cut a new hole in the basement ceiling so that I could access below that bathroom I was working on. So I had to cut the pipes and I removed the copper pipes, but remember that dripping, small bit of water I still had coming from some faucets. Apparently my shut off does not work properly, so the water was still going a bit, which led to quite a leak coming out of the pipes. No matter how I got rid of any source of the water as I could, the town kept pumping it in, so I had to keep dealing with that. Now I did fix that. It did take a trip or two to the hardware store. My wife picked up some PEX plumbing parts, but then I needed one more, so I had to go to a different hardware store while the pipes were leaking into my basement. Made a bit of a stream there, but thankfully I did get it all fixed up, but I did not get it on film as time was of the essence. So back to the start of the video where I was talking about routine. This is the type of thing No, it's not something I do every day, but it is part of my routine. I need to work on something each day, during the day, keep my mind busy, keep my body busy, so that I'm nice and tired now at 10 o'clock to go to bed tonight. So yeah, so I finished fixing up that plumbing issue I had, and now I can continue on with this project maybe tomorrow, maybe in a couple days. So yeah, that's it for now. Okay, so I didn't film that part because I had no time. It was a disaster. As you can see, I got a bunch of shit on my head. But anyways, our water don't shut off all the way because it's some old garden hose, red and white thing here, and it's very old and seized up. So it lets water keep running a little tiny bit. So I had to do this all by hand. So I had to cut the copper line and input some red PEX on the hot water with the shut off so that I can attach my new water lines. And then same thing with the blue up there. I don't know if you can see it. Anyways, there's a little blue section now with a shut off. So now at least I have shut offs for that faucet. I feel like I'm gonna have to do them for all. These are the sections here I cut out. You can see this part and this part here. I wish I had time to show it to you, but it'll have to be next time because this time I had water leaking everywhere and I didn't have all the pieces I need, the fittings. So I had to run to the hardware store with water dripping all over my laundry room. But at least now it's fixed, it's done, and I am done for today. So I guess I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.